Juan immediately jumps up. He knows that's incorrect. His grandfather will be 118 in a few days, and he is a World War II veteran also. Juan quickly Googles the number of Guinness Book of World Records. After waiting a long time, he finally reaches someone and explains the situation. The man from Guinness Book of World Records explains that if it's true, they will need to see his great grandfather's birth certificate, which is a primary source. He hangs up the phone and tells his family. His dad and his grandfather are very excited and immediately begin to look for the birth certificate. Grandfather is certain that it is somewhere in the attic. They search for hours through chests full of old newspaper clippings and dusty old antiques. One old newspaper they came across told a story about great great grandfather's mother. She had won a pie baking contest with a cherry pie. Benito stood for a long time thinking about his mom's cherry pie. He thought it was the best pie in the whole wide world, but he knew that was just his bias. Other people probably think their mother's pies were the best too. It was all up to their perspective. Finally, after searching for a full day, they give up. They couldn't find the birth certificate. The next day, Juan gets a call from the Guinness Book of World Records. They tell him that they need the birth certificate in 2 days, or they would not change the record holder to be his great great grandfather. The family frantically begins to look once more in the dusty old chests in the attic. They sneeze and sweat for 6 hours straight, but they have no luck. Juan's dad thinks they should give up and order some pizza. It would be fun to have great great grandfather in the book, but this is so exhausting. Just then, they all see a safe in the corner with a lot of dust on it. The safe is rusty and looks almost as old as great great grandfather. Benito tries to put a combination. It doesn't work. He tries another combination and another, but it's been so many years since he's even seen this safe. Juan gets a call from the Guinness Book of World Records. They tell him that they need a birth certificate by tomorrow, or they'll give the record to a 116-year-old World War II veteran in Germany. Juan frantically searches for a locksmith. He finds one and calls. The woman on the phone sounded nice. She was willing to come out on short notice. She said she would be right over. Thankfully, she was very knowledgeable and had worked with this kind of safe before. She begins work by cracking the safe code. It only takes her 20 minutes to unlock the safe. The code was 04/21st, 1916 or 16. This is the day Benito suddenly remembered that he met his wife. That was the exact date, or the absolute chronological date, that he met his wife. He had lost the exact date decades ago and could not remember it, but he remembered the relative chronology of when they had met. He remembered that he had just moved from Los Angeles to Texas with his mom and dad. He remembered that she was the first girl he saw at his new school. He instantly knew she would be special to him. They open the safe quickly. Through some cobwebs, they see many more primary sources, pictures, but they don't have time to look at them now. There it is! The birth certificate is old and brown with age, but it shows the exact birth date, January 24th, 1902. They find the birth certificate and send it with minutes to spare to the deadline. Guinness Book of World Records gets the birth certificate and publishes the book with great great grandfather as the new record holder for the oldest World War II veteran alive. He gets interviewed by many news agencies where he is able to talk about his life and provide even more primary source evidence of what it was like to fight in World War II.